Erev Tov Rabotai, we are continuing with our Mishna Yomi Masechet Yevamot. We are up to Perek Tetvav Mishnah Hey. Today's Mishnayot should be Leilu Nishmat Neria ben Svetlana Ranbai Eliyahu ben Burcha Israelo ben Chana bat Miriam Menuchatam began Eden Amen and Avde ben Chaim Nechaim for the Refuah Shelema of Daniel Shalom ben Oza and Mariana Miriam Chaya bat Tamara betoch Shah Cholei Israel. The Mishnah discusses additional cases of conflicting testimony about a man's death. The first two cases involve co-wives. As we have learned, a co-wife is one of the women who is not believed to testify about her husband's death. The Mishnah discusses some cases where co-wives contradict each other about the death of their shared husband. The Mishnah begins, Achat omeret met v'achat omeret lo met. If two co-wives come from overseas, one of them says that their husband died and one says that he did not die. Zot sheomeret met tinaseh v'titol ktubata. The one who says that he died may remarry and collect her ktubah, since a woman is believed to say that her husband died and her co-wife is not believed to contradict her. Just as a co-wife is not believed to say that her husband is dead in order to permit her co-wife to remarry, as we learned in the previous Mishnah, so is a co-wife not believed to say that her husband is alive in order to forbid her co-wife from remarrying, since we suspect that she might be lying out of hatred toward her co-wife. Therefore, the co-wife who says her husband died may remarry, even though her co-wife contradicts her. And since this woman may remarry, she may collect her ktubah from her husband's estate, as we learned in Mishnah 3. However, the one who says that the husband did not die may not remarry and may not collect her ktubah, because she herself claims that her husband is still alive. We have a principle that when a person declares a matter to be forbidden, that matter becomes forbidden to him, even if we know that it is in fact permitted. We call it shavya nafsheh chatichat isura. Since this woman declares that her husband is alive, she is forbidden to remarry, even though her co-wife is allowed to remarry. If one co-wife says that their husband died a natural death and one says that he was killed, Rabbi Meir says, since they're contradicting each other, they both may not marry. According to Rabbi Meir, a co-wife is believed to contradict her co-wife. According to Rabbi Meir, although a co-wife is not believed to testify that her co-wife is allowed to remarry, she is believed to contradict her co-wife and prevent her from remarrying. So since these women contradict each other, one of them must be lying, and therefore neither of them may marry. The Rav does say, the halacha does not follow Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Shimon but Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Shimon say, since each admits that her husband is not alive, they both may remarry. According to Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Shimon, co-wives are not believed to contradict each other's testimony. Therefore, the testimony of each woman is judged on its own merit, and we do not take into account what her co-wife said. Since each woman said that her husband is dead, she may remarry. The Mishnah's first ruling that a co-wife who says her husband is dead may remarry even if her co-wife says he is alive follows the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Shimon. According to Rabbi Meir, since they contradict each other, neither of them may remarry. In the previous Mishnah, we learned that if one witness said that a man died and another witness later said that he did not die, the first witness is believed and not the second one. The Mishnah now discusses cases where that law does not apply. Ed omer med, ved omer lo met. If one witness says that a man died and before the court rules that his wife may remarry, another witness says that he did not die. Isha omeret med, v'isha omeret lo met. Or if a woman says that he died and before the court rules that his wife may remarry, another woman says that he did not die. His wife may not marry. Now, having mentioned a case involving ordinary witnesses, the Mishnah now mentions a case involving women who are usually not valid witnesses but are believed in this matter, as we have learned. If the two women who contradict each other are co-wives, then the law would be subject to the dispute between Rabbi Meir on the one hand and Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Shimon on the other that we discussed earlier in the Mishnah. Now, although a witness who says that the husband died usually has more credibility than one who says that he did not die, like we spoke about earlier in Mishnah 4, that is only true after the court accepts and rules upon that witness's testimony. Here the court had not yet ruled upon the first witness' testimony, therefore the second witness is believed to contradict him and the wife may not marry. That is then of Mishnah Hey. Mishnah Vav continues, Haisha shalcha hi u'ba'alah al-midinat hayam. If a woman went with her husband overseas, u'ba'a v'amra met ba'ali, and she came back and said, my husband died, Tinaseh v'titol ktubata, she may remarry and collect her ktubah, since a woman is believed to say that her husband died. V'tzarata hasura, but her co-wife is forbidden to remarry or collect her ktubah based on this testimony, because a co-wife may not marry based on her co-wife's testimony. As we have learned in Mishnah 4, it is suspected that the first co-wife is lying in order to ruin her co-wife, even though the first co-wife, the one who testified, is herself getting remarried based on that testimony. We are concerned that she might hate her co-wife so much that she is even willing to ruin herself as long as she also ruins her co-wife. Now, despite this concern, the co-wife who testifies is allowed to remarry, because once the rabbis ruled that the court may not permit the second co-wife to remarry based on the first co-wife's testimony, she no longer has a reason to lie. Therefore, she is believed to say that her husband died, just as every wife is believed to say so. However, we cannot allow the second co-wife to get married based on this logic, for that would negate this line of reasoning. Haita bat Yisrael a Kohen, if the co-wife who did not testify was a daughter of Yisrael who was married to a Kohen, meaning the husband was a Kohen and she was a daughter of Yisrael who was allowed to eat terumah only as long as her husband is alive, like we spoke about in chapter 7, Mishnah 3, Tuchal baturma, she may continue to eat terumah on the presumption that the husband is still alive. Since the testimony of the first co-wife is not believed with regard to the second co-wife may continue to act in every way as though the husband is still alive. Divrei Rabbi Talfon, this is the opinion of Rabbi Talfon. Rabbi Akiva Omer, but Rabbi Akiva says, En zu derech motziatah midei avera. This is not the way to free her from the possibility of sin. Ad shetiyah asura l'naseh v'asura l'echol bitruma. Rather, she can be assured of not sinning only if she will be forbidden to remarry and forbidden to eat terumah. The Rav does tell us that the Chad does follow the opinion of Rabbi Talfon and she will be allowed to eat terumah. But going back to Rabbi Akiva's opinion, although her co-wife's testimony is not believed to allow her to remarry, there is nevertheless a doubt whether her husband is alive. According to Rabbi Akiva, although the first co-wife who testified that the husband died is suspected of lying, it is not certain that she is lying. So there is a doubt whether the husband is alive or dead, and the second co-wife must act accordingly. Therefore, to ensure that she does not sin, she may not remarry because her husband might be alive, and she may not eat terumah because her husband might be dead. Again, the halakha does follow the opinion of Rabbi Talfon, not Rabbi Akiva, according to the Rav. That is an Abotai of today's Mishna Yomi. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen v'amen.